So the next thing that is something that we want to talk about is also about this overdose of historical and mythological movies. As we said, even Singham again has that Ramayana angle to it, which is shown in the 5 minute trailer already. We had RRR, which had the Ramayana aspect. There was the entire Ramayana movie, which was
Adipur.
Prabhas's movie, Adipurish. It's just going on and on. So I'm sure you're a little exhausted by all of this. So what is your take on that?
When we come to anything, when it comes to movies in India, right? There's or entertainment industry in India. If there is something that is remotely connecting with audience, people just latch onto it and try to milk it to the full. Now, again, it's my theory that during the pandemic when Ramayana was aired again, it was a super hit, right? Like people
Yeah.
loved watching it, were like highly connected with even a series that was made donkey years back, and suddenly I think the filmmakers realized, hey, this is what is connecting with people of today. So why not make movies surrounding on these concepts, because this works. Like this whole Ramayana series worked. Thanks to the new mandir in Ayodhya, it's kind of giving more hype to it. So
Yeah.
let's make more movies like
Yeah.
this. And what I'm really not liking is actually good filmmakers, right? I don't know, probably I like Tanaji, so I consider Om Raut to be a good filmmaker based on what he had done with Tanaji. But Adi Purush
Yeah.
was bad. Like it
Very bad movie.
was bad, right?
Hopeless.
Bad.
Yes.
Then I now we know that Nitesh Tiwari is making a Ramayana with
Oh, that's true.
that's with
Yeah.
Ranbir
Yeah.
Kapoor, with Sunny Deol
And
as
Sai
Hanuman and Yash as Ravan, and Sai
and Sai Pallavi
Pallavi
as
as Sita. You're trying to mix that in every other film, like you said, right?
right.
In Singham. Now there is something
Right.
that is coming up which is dedicated to Hanuman, where Rishabh Shetty
Right.
is playing Hanuman over there, and it's going to have a
Right.
similar storyline to this, right?
Right.
Then there was Ram Setu, which again talked
Oh,
about
yeah.
Ramayana
Oh,
and
that's
this
true.
thing.
Correct.
Then
Yeah. Yeah.
if you're looking at it in a way, Kalki is also kind of a drawn back from
Yeah.
mythologies, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And of late, even
Brahmastra.
Brahmastra stuff.
Brahmastra was, yeah.
There are some elements you could probably get inspired by something and make a movie which will work.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I loved Thumbad. Thumbad is one of my favorite
Hmm.
thriller movies in the last recent years, and I can watch it
Mm-hmm.
again if you put up. Again, it's based on an
Mm-hmm.
Indian mythological story of Devi's son Hastar being the master of coins, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it was based on a story, and that's woven well with greed, etc. So
Right.
it's not like they tried to store the story again. They took the
Mm-hmm.
topic, built a story on it, and showed you the concept of it, right? So this is what
Right.
I liked about movies. Like now, you can't show me the same Ramayana again, right? There has to be something different.
Absolutely.
Like I have seen
Yes.
Ravan, Maniratnam makes Ravan,
Oh, yeah. That is also
right?
there. Yes.
Prakash
Yeah.
Jha makes Mahabharata in Rajniti with some.
Mahabharata.
Okay, good. At least you're not showing the same thing.
Yeah. Even Hum Saath Saath Hai was
Was
Ramayan based, right?
Ramayana in a way with a script. So you can't still show me the same story with like better
Right.
graphics with the different Rams and make me and take and say it's good. You can take
Yeah.
in some elements, combine with mythologies.
Exactly.
Say, for example, I
Right.
didn't hate Kalki a lot. There was still good amount of intrigue in there, what they're going to show in the next part. But if it's the
Right.
same story with no creativity from the production house or from the director or story
Mm-hmm.
writer, it becomes like just
Yeah.
it just becomes another run of the mill
Right.
mythological story being seen. So I'm tired of it.
Right.
I think I like mythology personally. I read a lot of
Yes.
Ashwin Sanghis and Amish Tripatis. I love reading those books. But there is
Right.
because there is certain creativity in them, right?
Yeah.
You're not telling the same story. You're adding good amount of creativity and telling them a different story, engaging me as a reader in it. But if you're
Right.
retelling the story in your way, which is the same story
Mm-hmm.
effectively without any
Mm-hmm.
perspective to it, I think that becomes too much to handle at this point of time.
That's true. Yeah, an overdose of anything is obviously not something that people will enjoy. So I remember when we watched Rajniti. I think we were in Infosys. We watched Rajniti, or
Mm.
maybe around that time in 2010. When I was watching it, I think I did not realize the parallels between Mahabharata and Rajniti. But the moment I realized the parallels and I tried identifying the characters and linking them to Mahabharata, it was a superb watch for me. And the way Prakash Jha has used his strongest suit, which is politics,
Yep.
Indian core, Hindi belt in Indian politics, and merged it with Mahabharata. it made for an amazing
Yep.
movie. And for years before that or after that, we did not have something similar. So
Yep.
the recall value also was
Yep.
pretty good, rewatch value rather. But I think off late, I think I was started realizing or noticing mythological based movies or series was around Sacred Games time,
Hmm.
when that was all of the episodes were named after certain characters
Yes.
from mythology. The whole theme was mythology
Mythology.
inspired. Asur had come out. It was an
Yes. Amazing.
amazing series.
Superb.
And talking about all the Asurs and, trying them into a murder mystery,
Yes.
that was amazing. But then it just went on and on,
Mhm.
and they started milking the same thing. And Brahmastra, for that matter, I thought it was a great premise,
Yes.
but they did not build after that one line,
Yep.
where we are going to use the astras from the mythological world in this real world.
Yep.
Beyond that, they couldn't think of it, and it was a dud. Kalki, I agree. The second half was amazing,
Yep.
but the first half made me bang my head against the wall with all the stupid comedy scenes that
Yes.
was so unnecessary. It
Yes.
really diverted my attention. So I totally agree. It's they are overdoing it now, and I don't think we are going to get a reprieve for another few years. We are going to keep being
Maybe.
bombarded with this theme of movies.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Yeah, the other theme that we have been talking about is, the role of female leads in all of these movies. For example, Brahmastra was such a big budget movie. Alia Bhatt hardly had any role. So was her role in RRR.
Hmm.
It got popularity and, acclaim across the world, but
Yep.
Alia Bhatt, such a big superstar, had hardly
Any
any
role.
role. Even in Adipurush, although Kriti Sanon played
Sita.
Sita, she hardly had any role in that.
Hmm.
So I think a lot of these female actors are yearning for good roles, but are not getting them from the right sources. And what are they doing? They're turning producers themselves, right? So we've seen that in the past. I think Juhi Chawla was one of the OG producers, but I think hers was more of a business mindset where she thought she can get with her best friend Shah Rukh Khan
Shahrukh
and
Khan.
create a production house and make some good movies. But now I think in the last 10-15 years, starting with someone like Priyanka Chopra, Anushka Sharma, they are literally taking matters in their own hands and making movies that they want to be a part of. Like
Yep.
Anushka Sharma made NH10, one of the first female
Action
action
movies.
movie, right? And I love that movie. It had a very interesting plot, low budget, one night,
Focused.
and that was it. And the transition of a pretty coy urban girl into a violent
Yes.
lady and giving her all the ammunition and the reasons
Hmm.
for it. And then Priyanka Chopra is doing a lot of Marathi movies and so many, interesting movies. Then we have Kangana Ranaut, we have got Kareena Kapoor with Buckingham Murders,
Yes.
and now Kriti Sanon with Dopatti, right? So I think they are tired of the characterization of women in these big production houses, and they're taking matters into their own hands.
No, no, thanks. So I think this is a very interesting topic, which I think we need to discuss because uh, I did some reading about women producers, and I think what I could get out of it is when the overall Indian film industry pre-independence era was had just started off again, slightly pre-Dada Saheb Phalke days, where there was no real, I can say, full-fledged Indian movie. That's where female actors never used to play female roles. They were male actors who used to play female roles,
Right.
right? And that's
Hmm.
where one woman, Fatma Begum, who's supposedly credited as the first female Indian producer and director. So she
Hmm.
started off her own production house called Fatima Pictures
Hmm.
and started directing and making movies. And
Hmm.
so if I'm just comparing what you said, right? Now it's about
Hmm.
getting meteor roles in movies. The whole
Right.
reason why we had the first women filmmaker was because there was
Hmm.
no scope even for acting. Like even they had to even fight to even get a role or act in a movie. Right.
Hmm.
And then she went on to make several movies, collaborate with a studio in the UK and call it as Victoria Fatima Films and make a number of movies. And just to add a bit of trivia, her daughter Zubeda starred in the first Indian talkie movie Alamara.
Interesting. Okay.
So, and the actress Zubeda actually credits it back to her mother, who kind of took the stance to say, no, there need to be women in movies and we need to have them. as part of
Hmm.
this thing because they have a lot to offer to the entertainment industry. This
Right.
is how the story started, and I think though we had a lot of female filmmakers or producers, directors like say Deepa Mehta or
Ekta Kapoor.
Ekta Kapoor, Lalita Lajmi, right?
Hmm.
I think
Meghna
Meghna
Gulzar has been
Gulzar
there.
has been there, but as you said, right, the need was always these were individual filmmakers who were trying to, but we never had this to say, okay, we are
Right.
not getting great, what can I say, roles. So what can we do?
Hmm.
We'll
Yeah.
fund our own movies in it. And you're right. I
Yes.
think, to be honest, coming back to Anushka Sharma, I think the filmography of Clean States Pictures is fabulous. Like they had like
Yes.
variety of movies.
Yeah. Hmm.
NH10, Filori, and Pari, Patal Lok,
Patal Lok, exactly.
Kohra came out, right? The series Kohra. So I think it's just not that they're starring in them, but the kind of content they're making is amazing. I think
Right.
same with what you
Yeah.
mentioned with Priyanka Chopra as well. I mean, making amazing Marathi movies. I think they made.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer of their movie
Ventilator. I think
Ventilator,
Ventilator
one
was
of
hers, and I think there is another movie that is going to come out.
Pani, right?
Pani,
Pani. I
I
think
think. Yeah.
it's about a person who
Yeah.
digs a well or something for his wife.
I
So
think so.
something.
Yeah.
So I think I'm liking the fact that it is starting off with we need more meteor roles in movies, but it's actually
Yeah.
we are getting good content as well because maybe
Content as
they
well.
are tapping to those subjects which aren't really tapped by other mainstream folks, and they're making low
Yeah.
budget movies for those interesting concepts. I think another,
Yes.
not an actress, but another female or women movie maker which I'm closely following is Guneet Monga.
Hmm.
So Guneet Monga, with her Sikya Entertainment, I think she's produced some fabulous movies as a line producer, like
Yeah.
Lunchbox, Gangs of Wasseypur, Masan, and I think it hit
She even won the Oscar,
Oscar
right?
for Elephant
So
Whisperers
yeah.
and
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
commercial movies now with movies like Puglet and Kathal.
Hmm.
So, and I think she's a co-producer of Kill as well, if I'm not wrong.
Hmm.
So I think I'm
Okay.
liking the fact
Hmm.
that not only established actors are taking the plunge, but
Right.
even independent women producers like Guneet Monga, or I think
Hmm.
I think Reliance Pictures is now headed by a woman, I think. Jyoti
Jyoti
Deshpande.
Deshpande. Yeah.
I think Netflix is also headed by a women producer. Initially, it was
Hmm.
Srishti Bahel, Arya Goldie Bahel's sister. I think now as well
Hmm.
it's head by a woman. Probably we need to get her name. But yes, I'm loving this fact that we are having so many women filmmakers because that's just increasing the diversity of movies coming in.
Kanika Dhillon as well. She
Kanika
is
Dhillon
everywhere. I don't like her movies, but she's pretty prominent and she's doing quite a lot of movies,
movies,
including Do Patti and even which was a Donkey. She was the writer
Donkey.
for all of these movies.
I think even Manmarzia, right? Manmarzia.
I guess, yeah. So there are all of these women who are taking matters into their
Oh,
own hands, right? Like even for that matter, a Kangana Ranaut, right? She's such a talented actress,
mhm.
and she was not getting the roles that she wanted, and she also plunged into politics and
Politics.
into mainstream controversy, I would say.
Yes.
So she wanted to make the movies that she backed or she believed in, and
Mhm.
no matter what her stance is politically or how good the movies she's making are. The fact that she is making what she wants is, I give her the credit. Manikarnika or Thalaivi or
Right.
even Emergency now, right? So she's making what she wants. She is just not just as a producer, but as well as a director and an actor as well.
Yep.
She's just doing it on her own terms. So
And on
I'm
big
happy that,
budgets.
yes, and on pretty big budgets, yes. So they are doing all of those things. So I'm pretty happy for them and as happy as a film lover as well that we get these varied kind of movies. And as you said, all of them have got solid content,
Right.
right? Dopati and Darlings both were based on
Darling.
domestic violence. Singham again, we are talking about Singham again and Bhool Bhulaiya. Neither of them probably
Have
has
any content?
any serious topic, in it. It's just mass entertainment. And, if they need the box office numbers, then you probably have, it's very hard to mix them.
Hmm.
Stree has managed to do that, to bring a social element and do it.
Yes.
Earlier, most of the movies used to be that, that was a template set by someone like a Raj Kapoor.
Correct.
But these days, it's hard to pull that off. Or you overdo it like how Rocky Rani was like such an in movie and they
They
overdid the liberal thing and with the writing and with the punchlines and dialogues, with all the different shamings, that are not, accepted by the liberal world.
Yes.
So they either overdo it or they just ignore it. But if you really want a good balance, then I think, these women producers
Mhm.
are taking matters into their own hands. Even Kareena Kapoor with
Right.
Buckingham Murders. It is a murder mystery where the main cop is played by herself,
Right.
and they've given her a good backstory and all of those things. A
Mm-hmm.
thing that is always reserved for male
Male
actors.
actors. And I think the
Hmm.
best movie, according to me, the best movie of 2024, Lapata Ladies, is also a female director. And I
Yes,
I
yeah.
loved the movie, and I think I had no in fact I was one of the happiest people when they said it's India's entry to Oscars, irrespective it wins or loses. It was
No, but did you read the statement that the film board put out after they nominated
no,
it for
no, probably I
Oscars?
missed that.
They said that Indian women are a unique mix of dominance and submission. That is how they put it. Yes.
Oh
Because
God.
there was this one girl who was ambitious and dominant, while
Right.
the other one was a little submissive. So they actually put this out. So everyone was like, while it's a good choice, debatable but good choice, what is the
But
statement that you're
I
putting
think
out? Why are you saying that Indian women are a mix of submission and dominance?
probably someone with not so good English put that statement out.
I have no clue, or were the true feelings coming out? I don't know. So, but yeah, I agree. Kiran Rao is a great director. Those are, she comes in the Meghna Gulzar and Ekta Kapoor kind of
Zoya
people.
Akhtar, Reema
Zoya
Khokri.
Akhtar, who were like naturally gifted, and
Yep.
they are already had that inclination to go into behind the camera roles, while these other ones that we are talking about are really frustrated
Frustrated
of the
doing that.
portrayal on screen, and then they just took matters in their own hands. But nevertheless, it's a good trend. I'm happy and excited at the same time.
Yes, 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 yes.
Right,
Okay.
right. Awesome. I think we've covered quite a lot of topics. We may
Yep.
have to just break this down into two episodes, but it was so much fun talking
Yes.
about all of these topics. Before we have our parting comments, are there any movie recommendations for anyone who's watching this?
Yes, yes. I think I have three movie recommendations, quite diverse from
Mm-hmm.
each other. So
Okay.
maybe different set of audience or viewers will like these movies. My first movie
Uh-huh.
recommendation is Gharat Ganpati. It's a Marathi
Mm-hmm.
movie on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Lovely movie shot in the Konkan region. So the region, the overall setting or the way it's shot is very beautiful. It's a
Mm-hmm.
family drama. Talks about a simple 7 day event of when Ganpati is at home when it's during the Ganesh festival. And it was also, I think, released on Amazon Prime during that period of Ganesh Chaturthi. And it talks about family conflicts, right? And beautifully shot, amazing performances. I think not a lot of known actors in it. Probably two of them whom people may know. One is Ashwini Bhave, who's done some amount of Hindi movies as well, and the other one is Ajinkya Dev, who's also done a fair amount of Hindi movies. But and there is Nikita Datta as well of
Mm-hmm.
Kabir Singh fame. So very
Yeah.
nice movie. Probably I think it did well even in the theaters when it released. But apart from that, fantastic movie if you want to watch a nice family drama, deep rooted emotions, amazing performances. You will definitely choke at multiple points during the movie. So yes, so that's my first recommendation. The second is a suspense thriller, a Malayalam suspense thriller, Golem,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is again on Amazon Prime. No known faces in the movie. At least I didn't know anyone who starred in the movie. It's a 1 day movie wherein an MD of a company with 15 employees has died. Okay. And a police officer is investigating it, and all the people in the office are possible suspects, whether it's a natural death or it's a murder. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
very difficult to digest subject when you watch the movie. But again, as usual, a terrific Malayalam movie, low budget, high on content, super
Mm-hmm.
performances from all the 20 member star cast of the movie. That's how I would put it. The third one again is a massy entertainer, Tamil, Telugu. I think it's present across languages. It's a Nani movie,
Mm-hmm.
Saripoda Sanivaram.
Oh yeah, I've seen that on
Yeah,
Netflix.
so
Yeah.
it's about a vigilante. It's about a person who turns a vigilante on Saturdays.
Huh. Okay.
Amazing
Interesting.
concept and
A,
like
s- a
total
side
masala
hustle.
movie. Yeah, side hustle. And there's also a nice backstory to it. Why he does it on Saturday? I'll not reveal the suspense.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but I think it really shows you how mass entertainers are made, right? Like again,
Hmm.
it's again leave your minds at home kind of a movie. Don't think much about it. But are you
Hmm.
whistling and hooting through the movie with every twist turns throughout the movie? Yes, you are. Right? So
Interesting.
so again, I loved the movie as well. Saripoda Sanivaram, out and out action entertainer. Again, thankfully no cringy songs in the movie. All the songs are in the background. Performance-wise,
Hmm.
Nani as usual is superb. He
Hmm.
kind of sleepwalks through this role of a side hustle vigilante. But yes, these are my three movie recommendations. Again, you can pick whichever you want. All of them are different
Yeah.
genres, but I loved
Yeah.
equally loved watching each of those over the
Hmm.
last a week or two.
I think I'm most interested in Golem and the Saniwara movie. I think I would probably I'm going to watch it this week, and
Right?
also will give the Marathi movie a watch. Yes. From my end, I think there are three movies again, Tamil and Malayalam movies, which are the flavor of the season, I would say, or for the past few seasons. So the first one is the recent release of Mayalgan. So it was a great watch. Arvind Swamy is in top form. So is Karthi.
Kanti.
And just like how you mentioned, there were multiple points during the movie where we choked. And it just takes you on a joy nostalgia ride where Prem Kumar, who's the director who had made a previous nostalgia based movie, 96, with Trisha and Vijay Sethupathi. This is his second movie after 6 years, produced by Jyotika and Surya, as we discussed. Beautiful movie where a man who's gone to Chennai from his hometown
Hmm.
because of certain circumstances after selling their house in that old town has to go back there for a cousin's wedding, and how he rekindles his love through an unknown man who he's not able to recollect who it is till the end, and how he gives him a fresh new lease of life. And each of those episodes of from the past are so beautifully shown and shot
Yes.
that it just brings you to tears. So I absolutely love that. So that is my first one. The second one is Manjumal Boys.
Hmm.
I know it's a little older one, but I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't watched it.
I
It made a
haven't
lot of.
watched it. I haven't watched it. I need to.
Okay, yeah. So it's a rescue movie. It's based on a true event that happened.
Hmm.
So it's about a bunch of boys who go to a cave,
Hmm.
and then there is a tragedy, and how they all fight together to overcome that
Okay.
without revealing a lot of the details.
Okay.
But again, typical low budget Malayalam movie, high on content, high on emotional value. You get absorbed. You
Yes.
feel like you're one of those boys. You
Yes.
are with them, and you want to overcome this tragedy, right? So they have beautifully brought it to life, and I think anyone who hasn't watched it will enjoy it. And the third one is another Tamil movie, which is Jigar Thanda Double X.
Mm.
Amazing movie. It's beautiful. They have got a lot of interesting themes, like someone who is an outlaw.
Hmm.
Movie making or cinema making plays almost like an important character in the
Wow.
movie. And they have also brought the man versus nature
Hmm.
fight that we have seen in, say, Kantara.
Okay.
That kind of a theme is also in this. So they have blended
Mm.
these three themes so beautifully
Hmm.
and brought it out into the movie that it just takes you in different unexpected directions through the movie that'll make you really enjoy the entire experience. So that's on Netflix. Manjumal
Yes.
Boys, I think, is on Disney Hotstar,
Okay.
and then
American is
Mayalgan
on
is on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix.
I think I'm
So those are
excited.
my.
I think I'm excited for
Yeah.
Jigar Thanda Double X because I
Yes.
remember I think it's got a fairly young director if I'm not wrong, right? It's a
Yes,
fairly
yes.
young
He
director.
was also featured on one of those round tables. I forget
Exactly.
his name. Yeah, but he, along with,
Lokesh
uh,
Kanagaraj,
yes, and the side A, side B guy,
Side A Side.
right?
Yes, yes,
So,
yes. So they were all
yes,
there.
so he was there along with a few other upcoming directors from across the industry.
Right.
That is where I discovered this movie and I
Okay.
watched it and I was blown away.
Okay.
Please watch it and let
Yes.
me know how you like it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially the final climax sequence is just amazing.
No, I think South Indian movies are
Yeah, yeah, those are my recommendations.
good. Good. No, I think definitely Jigar Thanda is that's going to tune in very soon, probably this week.
Yes.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes. Okay.
Okay, Ashwath, I think we had a great conversation. We loved all your perspectives, especially about women producers, the history of it. We've got your perspective on overdose of historical and mythological movies. That was great as well. Good to talk about all of that.
Yes,
I had that sense, but it was nice talking to you.
absolutely.
And of course, about the off-late releases and latest of Bollywood.
Bollywood. Yes, no, it was great chatting as
Hmm.
well. I think not really sticking to
Hmm.
one topic, but going to different topics. I think it's kind of was great because then as someone who's that's what I've heard as well from people who've seen our podcast is try to do different topics because there is so much to talk around and it becomes easy for you all to make it into different sections in the podcast. So I think probably this time
Yes,
let's hope how it works. Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Ashwath. I will talk again soon. Hopefully, we'll do this more often,
Absolutely.
and we'll come up with new topics for the next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aniket. Bye bye.
All right. Okay. Bye bye.